What up? It's your boy T-Bird Reaction. This is the makeup for Wrestling Wednesday. So this right here about to be a video from Wrestlelamia. 10 awful catchphrases WWE wrestlers used that never got over. Now, if you know wrestling, there's always some catchphrase where there's a catchphrase to make you cheer from, a catchphrase to boo for, or two. Whether it's you smell what rice cooking or the dreaded acknowledge me, boo. Whatever. They'll get you over whatever you, they will cheer or boo you. Whatever. But there's some catchphrases that just don't work. Whether you, especially if you're a heel or even when you're babyface. But other than that, let's check out some of them 10 awful catchphrases that WWE wrestlers used that never got over. So that being said, let's get it.
There have been some incredible catchphrases in WWE, from "That's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so" to The Undertaker's simple yet effective "Rest in peace." However, WWE have been known to introduce a truly atrocious and borderline cringe-worthy catchphrase, and they do everything they can to try and get it over. This catchphrase is universally rejected by fans, and thankfully, the catchphrase will be slowly erased from that specific wrestler's character. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at 10 incredibly awful catchphrases that WWE tried to get over. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestlelamia Shorts. Number 10, XPac, your ass is grass. XPac was one of the most underrated stars of the Attitude Era. He was a great worker, but the problem was that he just couldn't let the DX persona go. They tried to do some unique things with this character, but every time they did this, XPac would keep all the mannerisms from his character in DX, so nothing felt different, and he'd become insanely stale. One of his more infamous moments of his career was a time that he introduced one of his worst catchphrases of the entire Attitude Era. Randomly in promos, XPac would begin to say, "And your ass is grass."
Yep. Smoky. Yep.
Now, this never received a reaction, even from the Attitude Era audience, mainly because it made the credible XPac sound completely ridiculous. WWE was so convinced that this catchphrase was going to get over that they produced official t-shirts with the catchphrase on it. Safe to say, they didn't sell particularly well. Number 9, Ryback rules.
Oh yeah.
When Ryback first debuted the Ryback character, he managed to get over mainly thanks to his Goldberg-esque booking, as well as his great catchphrase such as "Feed me more, finish it." Upon turning heel in 2013, he would introduce the world to his brand new catchphrase, "Ryback rules." This just didn't have the same effect as his prior catchphrase, and it fell flat extremely quick. In fact, Ryback's whole heel turn in 2013 was heavily criticized for doing irreversible damage to a popular babyface character. As is typical for a new catchphrase, they would license merchandise with the catchphrase on it, but WWE had derailed Ryback's popularity so much that his merchandise was no longer a hot commodity for fans. Number 8, DDP. That's not a bad thing, that's a good thing.
Oh my god, if WWE don't know how, there's one thing WWE's good at is botching a good person, a good gimmick, a good wrestler. And how, out of all people, it's bad enough they did bad with Sting. They messed up with Sting, but how the fuck they botched DDP in WWE? How? Just how? How you messed that up, WWE? How did you mess that up, man? Thank God he got put in the Hall of Fame for his working mostly in WCW, not more as WWE, but how did you fuck that up, man? Oh my God. Wait a minute, is he in WWE? I think he's in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I think he's in the Hall of Fame. But either way, how did you fuck that up, WWE, man? Let me double check, see if Sting is, but DDP is in the Hall of Fame. Hold on. Okay, man. Yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame 2017. That's his only biggest accomplishments in It is the Hall of Fame. The closest other champion you got is European champion, tag champion. But how did you fuck this up, WWE, man? With that nonsense. I mean, maybe the prelude to his infamous DDP yoga, but still, how did you fuck this up? Oh my god.
It's well documented just how much of a monumental failure DDP's WWE run was between 2001.
Like the Make Me Famous was somewhat okay, but because the whole thing going against Undertaker, but
to 2002. He was one of the most beloved stars in WCW, but they decided to ignore his popularity and instead give him a gimmick of a creepy stalker. Following this disaster of a storyline coming to a close, he would be repackaged as a motivational speaker. This was when DDP would debut a new catchphrase.
That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
Whilst this certainly wasn't the worst catchphrase in the history of WWE, fans had lost faith in that WWE were going to do anything meaningful with him, so they just didn't care about the catchphrase altogether. Every WCW fan knew that they'd missed a huge trick by not utilizing DDP in a main event level capacity.
They did
this
not,
is ultimately
man.
one of the biggest missed opportunities in the saga of WWE acquiring WCW. Number 7, Kerwin White. It's not right if it's not white.
Oh my god. This gimmick here, and what makes me feel so bad, shout out to Maria, but what made me feel so bad about this is it took his uncle passing away for him to drop the gimmick. That's the sad part about it. It took his uncle passing away for him to drop this gimmick. Yeah, I don't know who the hell thought this was an okay idea. I don't know, it's Chavo or WWE Vince on some bullshit. Who the fuck thought this was a good idea at all? And like I said, it's sad that it took his uncle passing away, Eddie Guerrero, for him to drop the gimmick.
If it's not white. In 2005, WWE would decide to give Chavo Guerrero one of the most controversial gimmicks of all time. Guerrero would denounce his Mexican heritage and become Kerwin White. He would now live by the ideology that the Anglo-American
Fun fact, that's Dolph Ziggler.
way was the way he was going to attain success in life, and to represent this questionable character, he would introduce a brand new catchphrase.
If it's not white, it's not right.
What made this catchphrase even worse was that Guerrero would often say it in front of black wrestlers, and it just made for uncomfortable viewing. It's unclear why exactly WWE were thinking with this ludicrous gimmick and catchphrase, but thankfully, a gimmick of this nature is highly unlikely to ever be seen again. Number 6, Edge, Spear.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed it. And funny about my homie back then when his son was like real low, he was letting say I love too. But I actually enjoyed this one. No lie, it was lucky. It was lovely. It was kind of like because kind of like gave Edge his like a psycho persona he had as well too.
Yeah, Spear. Edge was cemented as one of WWE's top heels in the summer of 2009, but an injury forced the rated R superstar to take an extended leave of absence from WWE. When he eventually returned in January of 2010, they wanted Edge to be a babyface for the first time in over 5 years. This was a decision which received extensive criticism. Whilst Edge returning as a heroic babyface was great to see, he was just so damn evil and compelling as a heel, and fans wanted to see him back to his villainous ways. During his babyface run, he would introduce a babyface chant of spear, spear, spear.
Did you think you were gonna get a spear? Spear? A spear?
But the crowd didn't take to it as much as WWE or Edge would have liked. It felt forced, which summed up the perception of Edge's babyface character at the time. Number 5, Brie Bella, Brie Mode.
I thought that was kind of cute on the low, man. Plus, it was at first, but it was, I understand it got a little cringe for a lot of folks, but I thought it was cute. Not giving her own little individuality away from Nikki for a minute, but yeah.
Brie Bella first introduced the Brie Mode catchphrase. Fans thought that Brie was trolling the fans. This catchphrase is insanely cringeworthy, and it's crazy to think that Brie kept it for a number of years. Brie would often scream the catchphrase whenever she was in an offense in a match. It became notoriously hated, particularly from those fans with a presence on social media. WWE eventually made the bizarre choice to add someone screeching the words Brie mode into the start of Brie's theme song. This resulted in one of the most infamous themes in WWE history being produced. Number 4, The Rock, Boots to Asses. Now, The Rock
I actually had that shirt, so I had a shirt, but
has had several iconic catchphrases, such as and the hilarious
What's your name? Mark.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
but one he introduced in 2011 just failed to take off. Some fans were critical of The Rock's 2011 return as it didn't feel like The Rock of old, it felt more like Dwayne Johnson. The majority of these critics would often point towards the boots to asses catchphrases that The Rock and the WWE were persistently trying to push as The Rock's next big catchphrase.
Right.
Whilst the crowd did initially chant along mainly because it was The Rock after all, it failed to have a lasting impact, and fans over a decade later only discuss the aforementioned catchphrase in a negative way. WWE tried their best to make the catchphrase something special, and this was shown with the sheer amount of merchandise that was produced with the catchphrase plastered right on it. But the main problem was that it felt unauthentic, and it felt like a catchphrase that the beloved character The Rock wouldn't realistically come up with. Number 2, Dolph Ziggler, It Should Have Been Me.
God. He was getting annoying with that. He was getting annoying with that bullshit.
Former world champion Dolph Ziggler has had a range of character-
But it did surprisingly became a new meme for anything that a female wrestler of loveliness would have done, such as the rear Ripley pin, or anything with a wrestler with lady's booty getting in their face, or when what was it? Jay kissed. Who was she kissed? Who she kissed? Ty Mello and everything as well too. It always that it should have been me. I love it. Anyway, or when a wrestler gets pregnant, or a female wrestler get pregnant. It did draw on me, but and within the ring, it was getting annoying. Hold on a second. I'm back. Let's keep going.
Throughout his extended career, but his 2019 heel character was one of the more confusing. Ziggler would be presented as a heel and would work a feud with Kofi Kingston over the WWE title. Ziggler's motivation during the feud was that he believed that it should have been him, meaning Ziggler believed that all of Kingston's 2019 success should have been awarded to him. Ziggler's character was incredibly negative and sucked the life out of the feud. During every single promo, Ziggler would state,
Sadly, was sucked the life out of Kofi's title run, and not making a lot of fans not like it. That's what sucks about it. I think that was contributing. You know, a lot of people was not a big fan of, didn't like the payoff of the Kofi's title run as well too. He was part of it.
And you all admire him, and it should be me!
as he was evidently trying to get this over as a noteworthy catchphrase, but it was incredibly annoying and failed to take off as a popular catchphrase. Number 2, The Miz. Really? Oh, The Miz is a... I
ain't gonna lie, I did imitate it at time too. This, or not for either towards the hill, or when I loved it when he did as a face, or just did it in general because it's always funny.
Certified success story in WWE. He went from the host of SmackDown to a multi-time WWE champion and is now considered one of the most respected talents in the locker room. He's had several catchphrases during his past 15 years and some of them have been better than others. Of course,
I'm the Miz, and I'm awesome!
is a fan favorite, but the dreaded really catchphrase is detested by fans. Miz introduced this catchphrase during his first major push in WWE and it was clearly designed to be the new version of the What chant, but it failed to capture any excitement with the audience. Now, some would argue that the What chant should be on this list, but it did actually have some success.
Better not.
It just got incredibly annoying afterwards.
It better not.
Now, The Miz would begin to deliver the irritating catchphrase as a heel, but then WWE continued to have The Miz trying to get the catchphrase over when he turned babyface in late 2012, but this did very little to influence how fans reacted to the infamous phrase. And number 1, Roman Reigns. I'm not a bad guy.
Oh, yeah. I'm 50-50 with it though. I understand why he did it though, because they was trying to fans wanted him to turn heel after this. I think this happened after the him beating Undertaker and This Is My Your thing. fans want him to turn heel, but there's some fans like myself who want to keep him face. So he was like trying to slap him up in a way, put us up as a, in a way, a tweener in a way. Although he's still technically a babyface, he was just being a tweener just for the, as far as crowd wise. You know, the kids like him, the face fans like him, but the adult dickheads hate him and all that as well too. So yeah.
It's well documented just how poorly WWE presented Reigns when he became a solo act in 2014. His character was disingenuous and forced, and he failed to build up a genuine connection with the fans. Despite this disassociation with the fan base, they pushed Reigns to the moon, and one of the worst things about this run was WWE's way of making it seem like Reigns didn't care.
I will acknowledge it, because this is during this babyface day, you know, that's the days I roll with. I don't like the current tribal queef right now, because that's not the real Roman, as Jamie say. That's pretty much Paul Heyman's puppet. But
about the negative reaction. During his babyface run, Reigns would debut the catchphrase of,
"I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a good guy.
I'm the guy."
I'm the guy."
Fans outright rejected this catchphrase as Reigns lacked any conviction when saying it. Fast forward to the year 2020 and Reigns would turn heel and deliver some of the most compelling character work of the modern era. During this heel run, Reigns introduced fans to several catchphrases such as the incredibly popular
"Acknowledge me."
This catchphrase worked because Reigns is delivering it as if he means it. The catchphrase isn't composed of lazy written words that will be delivered half-heartedly. But they have it.
Alright, well, either way, and of course they had to throw in their dreaded acknowledgement in this video. But other than that, this was a good video though, for real. Like I said, I remember some of the ones I can remember definitely being not getting over and cringy. Some, there's few I was low-key a fan of, like the spear, and the really, and the boot the asses. But yeah, there's just some, and then some that was cringy or whatever, but became a good meme later on in line, like the "it should have been me" and all of that as well too. And then the last one was definitely back. I guess it was considered back. You know, they didn't. You know, because first wrestling, the IWC criticized the hell out of the babyface run so much as well too. Of course, they put that number one as well, and can't keep the tribal dick out of their mouths. That's so understandable, I guess. Other than that, this was cool though. Either way, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your boy T-Bird signing off. One love.